All right, guys, I'm going to talk very candidly about my experiences with the new Ryobi brushless tools, and in some cases the HP line, which Ryobi has come out and said the HP line is going to be for pros and contractors, and that it's really built to withstand the abuse of the job site. Now, I know there's going to be some controversial stuff in this video. I'm even going to go in probably and talk about some other people's videos. I'm not meaning to go after anyone here. It's just going to be my experience and how it relates to that. But at the same point, this video is going to be a dumpster fire, and I'm just hoping it doesn't get out of control. Feel free to leave your comments below however you feel. Either way, you're not going to offend me. It's going to be interesting. Stay tuned. So I'm making this video because of the long list of Ryobi HP tools that I've actually smoked in my shop, and then before then, the list of just their brushless tools that came out that have actually almost gone up in a fire. So I'm not seeing that experience shared everywhere, and either I have the absolute worst luck on the internet, or I'm kind of telling people what's going on and other people aren't. And a little bit of what sparked this was a video that two guys sat down with a contractor, and I really like those two guys. Great experiences with them, nothing against them. But they sat down with a contractor and talked about the Ryobi HP tools and how they're smaller, more powerful, still are backwards compatible, and everything's great. And I don't see that in the use of that. And in their video, they used all Ryobi's B-roll, so they didn't use any of their own B-roll to show it. And that kind of threw me, because if you used my B-roll to show how great those tools were, it would be a complete fail. If you go back to videos I posted about the recip saw that we had, the new HP, was supposed to be great. I don't think I pushed it much, and in fact I asked you guys to comment. 90% of the comments said, hey, if you can't do that, you know, in 5 minutes, and we smoked that thing. It just complete, and it came apart. A lot of you guys are talking about, is it grease? Was it a lack of grease? That whole shaft on the top basically came apart. The one that was going in and out. Is it a problem with the tool? Is it a problem with the build? Who knows, right? If you go back a little bit, we had the one-handed recip saw, and that was just after it was like a media event that Ryobi put out. And in that event, they came out and really pounded that they were making these HP tools for the contractor and for the job site, and they were going to withstand the abuses. Well, I see a lot of contractors and employees using a lot of different tools. And no matter what brand, there's one common theme. The employees don't care how bad they abuse the tool. So I went at that tool pretty hard and said, well, if Ryobi's HP tool lineup is meant for the job site, for the contractor, for these people, even though it's, you know, the DIY tool at Home Depot, they were kind of changing their brand, or working to say it's job site capable. Smoke. It didn't take long. It just up in smoke. So, I got a lot of hammering on me on that video, and I don't care a bit. Good, because I did push the tool hard, and a lot of people didn't watch that media event where Ryobi came out and said, hey, we're job site ready, and we have the protections in the tool to make sure that the tool withstands it. Didn't. Multiple other HP tools that we came out had LED lights on that were supposed to flash when they got to a point, and I think it was a drill, and I might not have a lot of video on that part, but they were supposed to flash to let you know, hey, you're overheating the tool, hey, you're pushing the tool too hard. So we went at those tools and said, let's see when we get there and how the tool communicates. Most of the tools never communicated with us. A lot of the tools got so hot that they would cut out and not communicate and or not work again, which sucks, because it sucks on my end to spend a ton of time to put out a video to show how good a tool is supposed to be, when the Ryobi marketing team comes to me and says, hey, this is going to rock. I think, great, let's show it, right? What better way to inform an audience that this tool's good, ready for the job site, than to just abuse it and go after it and show, hey, Ryobi is making something better. And in every case, I came out and it was Ryobi is making something worse. And the worst part about it is my communications with them about it basically were brushed under the rug, and they don't communicate back when something is poor. All they do is ask you not to post the video. So we've also looked at a lot of brushless tools or brushless circular saw. The first thing that burned me about the brushless circular saw and the HP circular saw is that they're almost identical, if not identical, and you cannot get them to be square from the factory. They're stuck at 88 degrees. You'll never get a 90-degree cut with it because the bottom of the tool hits the shoe. And this is not the saw, this is a different one. And speaking of this one, this is just a standard brushless saw that comes with their larger kits. It's a small saw. This thing completely up in smoke, and we weren't pushing it that hard. Again, maybe this is not pushed or touted as a contractor tool, but we were just simply ripping 2x lumber, not going overly fast, just trying to get a cut down and make it happen. It cut out, we pushed a little further, bellowed smoke. I can't be the only guy. And if you're having great luck with the Ryobi tools, great. You know, I see a lot of the older tools out there, they're still around. In fact, some of the old blue tools that I see, and people are taking the small batteries and putting on them, they're still kicking and rocking. They might not be the most powerful tool out there, but they seem like they were built 10 times better than the crap that's rolling off the line today that's touted as job site stuff. I don't know what happened in the leadership of Ryobi or Ridgid at the same point, because most of the new Ridgid tools, since they dropped the Octane line, are the same. You get a Ryobi or Ridgid, just a different outer covering. And somebody is thinking that we're going to either pay more for the Ridgid tool because of the LSA, or still pay dang near Milwaukee prices for a brushless Ryobi tool because it's touted as pro quality, but don't push it too hard because you'll get smoke and it'll be done. It's sad to see these companies do this to us, the consumers, and we're putting a lot of money into them, and they seem to think that all they care about is the dollars that's coming in on that corporation. And man, I am not this guy, but it burns me. It's the same as Amazon saying that they have a 3,000 PSI pressure washer and it's only 1,600 watts. So you take it out and you run it and use it and you find out, oh, well, it's really only 1,400 PSI and 1 gallon per minute. It drives me insane. And I hope Ryobi's watching this, because get your act together and actually put out good tools. Do something that you have a warranty, and stop touting that your job site stuff. Man, you're pro DIY. You're not even pro DIY, you're DIY. Sell good quality tools to the people who need it. And that burns me. Now, second thing, Ryobi's always had this battery, and they say they're all backwards compatible and forward compatible, 25 years, same battery. And in some cases, that's true. You can take an old blue tool and pop this small HP battery in it. This is a 2 amp hour high performance battery, and it probably won't hurt that tool. Now, you can't take some of the really old NiCad batteries and move them forward into a larger tool because it doesn't have enough power to really make that tool perform. And you really can't take one of these larger, now it's only a 3 amp hour, but if you had a 6 or a 9 and you took it backwards into a drill and you really push that drill, you're just going to smoke the drill. So we have a compatibility thing where, yes, a lot of these batteries will click in, but in a lot of cases they don't work. And I get how they can tout it and say, hey, this works no matter what happens. It's a great feature, and it does. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't work. Is it better than what DeWalt has done and some other tool companies have done and just, you know, completely switched? Maybe, but at some point, when you're making larger tools and the technology has changed and yesterday's technology doesn't fit today's tools, there's got to be a tipping point or an educational point to the consumer to say, hey, this doesn't work. Because when the HP or high performance line came out, it just seemed like it needed bigger batteries, and they weren't there. Right? Actually, I'm wrong. It was the brushless line came out, and they needed bigger batteries, and they weren't there yet. Then once they came out, it made sense. The tools worked better. I mean, I can remember we had a recip saw, and that video is still out there. First new brushless recip saw. It didn't have much power at all. We were stuck with a 4-amp-hour battery. 2 months later, 9-amp-hour battery comes out. Great, pop it on that recip saw. It works amazing. But that video with the 4-amp-hour, before the 9-amp-hour came out, it sucked. And we still get comments on it today. Put a bigger battery on. Well, they weren't out then. So it's one of those things where it's frustrating from this side because I'm watching a ton of people get paid to lie to other people and kind of give people bad advice. And at the same point, why not just be honest? And I get it, it's the game of this because you get where I'm at, where if you are honest with them, they'll just stop talking to you about it. And then next thing you know, you're not on any list to know what's new and coming out with this brand and you're cut off. But I'd rather be cut off and honest than on somebody's payroll and touting you guys junk tools. That's the truth. So, comments below. This is a dumpster fire, I get it. The comments will probably be a dumpster fire. Go down there, check it out. As always, appreciate your time. Give us a like in this video as long as you liked it. If you hate it, smash that hate button, who cares? Subscribe or unsubscribe as necessary. We appreciate your time. Have a great day.